Hey guys, just wanted to talk about a clicker that I've been working on for probably the last 12 months. I guess the reason I've actually made this is I've tried pretty much everything else that's out there and just found that I couldn't find something on the market that was working for me. I tried everything from like limb mounted clickers, the grip clicker from RMS, which is a great product. Grip sears. I tried pretty much everything, and also tab clickers. I also tried one of them, but just couldn't sort of get it to work for me. One of the big issues I also had was I didn't want to attach something to my bow, so I mainly shoot Black Widow recurves. So quite a bit's been invested into the gear, and while I was willing to stick stuff to my bow, that was fine. I found that I did run into some issues, just with, the grip clicker. I found after a while the grip tape, in the heat, it would move around and then I'd lose my position on my grip. I also found, for instance, like with my PSA here, I had a grip clicker on here, and then after I took it off the grip, you can see that it's actually taken away some of the finish, which, it's not the end of the world, but I was a bit unhappy when that sort of come off. So I started looking at, what was out there on the market, something that I could use that I guess was probably more of a training aid. Like, I didn't sort of look at it as wanting to use a clicker full time. Like, it was more something just to get my shot back on track when things weren't going right. So I started playing around with, okay, what are the two main points of contact that you have with the bow? So either your hand into the palm of the grip, and obviously, your string hand and the contact that you have on the string itself. So I started playing around with what could I do with some sort of ring device that I could take on and off as I please, because like I said, ultimately I just wanted to train with it, and then when I don't want it there, I could easily take it off. So I guess after about, it's been probably 11 or 12 months now of playing around with this, I'm pretty happy with how it's working. And I just thought, if there's other people out there that are struggling with the same challenges that I've had, which I know a lot of people struggle with this, it's something that you can easily put on, whatever finger sort of works for you best. I've tried, both ways, and I'll sort of demonstrate how you can use it either way. But essentially how it works, like at the moment, I've got it on my bow hand thumb, and essentially there is a little clicking device in here, which I don't know if the camera can show it, but I've done it in a way that it's not obtrusive or sticking out through the top of the ring. Being someone that enjoys bow hunting when I can, I didn't want something that if you were walking through brush or whatever, it could easily break. So essentially what I've come about with this is getting it onto your thumb, and then depending on what sort of grip you're running on your bow is going to be different for everyone. But once you sort of get established in your shot, finding a position here where you can just apply a very slight amount of inward pressure on your thumb, and you can hopefully hear an audible click. That's one way of running it. Another way that you can run it, and these are silicon rings, which I know a lot of people use just day to day for just general use, but you can also use this on your index finger. So the black zone here is essentially indicating where the clicker is mounted underneath. I'll show you later, but it's not hurting my finger or anything. I actually can't even feel that there's something in there. But essentially what you could do here, and I'd need to rotate this a little bit, but again, you would have to have a fairly light grip, But then when you go through your shot sequence and you're getting to get ready to go through the shot activation part of your shot, you would talk yourself through just a slight squeeze into the grip. And again, you can hear the click there. Now, that for me is okay, but I've found that it's more comfortable using it on the thumb. And then the main other way you could do it, if you didn't want it to have the clicker on the bow grip, is to use it here on your string hand. So I'll pull back in a sec, but essentially you can see your thumb, for most people, will sit against the jawline here. So as you will have to engage back tension, but as you start your direction and movement behind you, just a very slight movement will put pressure in against the jaw. And I don't know if you can hear that, but if you do it properly, just a little bit of movement will activate that against your jawline and the click will go off. So I'll try and demonstrate this with an arrow loaded. So just spin this around. So just getting your thumb into position, and you might have to, what I found was I had to sort of play around with getting the right position of that ring on my thumb. And obviously everyone's got, you know, different length, shape thumbs, so you just have to play with what works for your particular anchor point. But I'll see if that works. So if I just come back to full draw, right, and then I would start to expand. You hear the click, right? So that's one way. And then, you know, you can easily take this thing off if that's not preference to you. And like I said, for me, what I've found works best for me anyway is on the bow side. Again, you got to play around with finding the right position because everyone's got different grip types. So whether you've got a fatter grip in here or a narrower throat grip, just depends on what sort of works for you. But what I've found works best with this is, as I'm pulling back, you don't want to apply well, you shouldn't have too much pressure in this grip anyway. It should be fairly loose. And then come to full draw. And then once you're ready to start expanding, it's just a squeeze, 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 and it goes off. All right. So that's the concept behind it. I've more recently sort of been transitioning away from using clickers, but what I think is a really good thing with this is, you know, if you're going through a tough patch and you start to get a bit sloppy with not using a clicker, it's something that you can easily put back on and just get your shot back into swing. So I'll try and do my best to demonstrate a shot here, and maybe if I just talk my way through my shot. So for me, it's about coming back into anchor. Here I go, squeeze, 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 and bang, the shot goes off. And the thing with that is you can't anticipate the shot. So like any other clicker, if you're doing the right thing and you're not concentrating on the clicker going off, you're concentrating on the movement to activate the shot, which for me is, in this instance, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And sometimes I'll have to be more aggressive with how I say that to actually get the clicker to go off, you know, whether I'm at a competition or something like that. It just depends. But that's sort of the premise behind it. So, you know, I didn't sort of create these with the intention to sell them, but I guess because it has helped me so much, I just thought, you know, I'd love to get some feedback from you guys. If it's something that you think could help you, you know, I'd be more than willing to start making some of these. And yeah, just let me know if this is something that could help. I know if it's not broken and you're using something else, why fix it? But it's just something that's a bit different. I do have some different colors and whatnot that I could do them in. So here's the variety. There's a lot of different variety here. You've got camo, gray, different blues, light blue, dark blue, white, grey camo. I haven't made a lot of these up yet. These are just example ones that I can make up. And again, the only thing that you're going to see is the black indicator here where I've actually got it. And actually, before I go, I didn't sort of show you. So inside here, you can see that there's nothing obtrusive that's going to be sticking into your thumb or anything. So, you know, I find these are very comfortable. I've had them on for a couple of hours at a time and, you know, no issues. So, yeah, let me know if this is something that could help you, and yeah, send me a message or whatever. I'm just, yeah, willing to help, and hope it helps someone out.